All right, geometry. Today we're going to continue talking about angle pairs, but we're going to utilize the angle pairs to solve for missing variables. So we're going to look at angle pair equations. So we're going to be referencing our notes from our previous lesson quite a bit. If we look at this first example here, we have two angles that form a linear pair. We have the 102 degrees and the x plus 27 degrees. If we remember from those notes from our previous lesson, a linear pair means that those two angles should add up to 180 degrees. So we can just take the x plus 27, add 102, and that should equal 180. And then we're going to use our algebra skills to isolate or get x by itself. The first thing we can do is we can add 27 and 102. We can take x plus 129 equals 180. And now to continue this, we need to subtract 129 from each side. So x is going to equal 61. That is the answer we're looking for. It's not 61 degrees, it's just 61. So now let's look at our second example. And we need to solve for x. And here we're going to utilize a lot of ideas from yesterday. First, let's look at this angle right here. It forms a linear pair with the 140. So that tells us this angle here should be 40 degrees. Next, if we look at this angle, it is a vertical angle to that angle, which means they're the same. So that angle should be -5 plus 15x. Now to finish this off, what we can conclude, we have three angles in a triangle. We have the 2x plus 9, the -5 plus 15x, and the 40 degrees. All the angles in a triangle need to add up to 180. So we can take our 2x plus 9, we'll write minus 5x. Normally we'd go plus, but it's a negative, so we'll go minus, and it's not 5x, it's just minus 5, plus 15x plus 40, and that should equal 180. Now we're going to look at like terms and combine them. We have a 2x and a 15x. They're both positive. If we add them, that gives us 17x. We also have a 9, a minus 5, and a plus 40. Well, 9 minus 5 is 4. 4 plus 40 is 44. So we can go 17x plus 44 equals 180. Now we want to get the x alone. So the first thing we're going to do is subtract 44. We're going to have 17x equals 136. To wrap this up, we need to divide by 17. So x, I do not know 136 divided by 17 off the top of my head, so I would put it into a calculator. In doing that, we're going to figure out that x is equal to 8. So our answer to this example is 8. And we have one more example to go over. There is a little bit of review notes at the end of this, but we're not going to go over that in this video. We are going to go over this next example, though. We are going to sketch our own linear pair where one of our angles is 8x and the other is 6x plus 110. We need to find two things, well, three in total. We need to find what's the value of x and what are the measures of both angles. So let's just start by making our picture. If it's a linear pair, we know they have to make a line. So let's make our line, and then let's just sketch in that common side. We'll call this our 8x, And then we can call this here our 6x plus 110. Now, if they're a linear pair, remember if we add them, if we go 6x plus 110 plus 8x, that should equal 180. We're going to go 6x plus 8x and get 14x plus 110 equals 180. And remember, we're just isolating x. So we need to subtract 110 from both sides. We get 14x equals 70. To wrap this up, we need to divide both sides by 14. Plugging 70 divided by 14 into a calculator, we're going to get that x is equal to 5. That is one of our answers. We now need to take that 5 and plug it into both of our angles. So let's find, maybe we'll just start with the 8x. So we're going to go 8 times 5, which gives us 40 degrees. So one of our angles is 40 degrees. Now we're going to take 5 and plug it into the other angle. We have 6 times 5 plus 110. Well, we know 6 times 5, using order of operations, that's 30. 30 plus 110 is 140. Now, just to make sure we did this right, the two angle measures we got should add up to 180. If we look at 40 and 140, that's what we get, 180. Like I said, we're not going to go over the little review part at the end of our notes, the paper you have, but they are there. We talked about them throughout this video. That's going to wrap up our angle pairs notes.